Yes, indeed. The sound of Epic Array, a touch of blessing here on WoW Radio. Check them out, they're fantastic. They are, really. Anyway, now, I started with the topic of level caps and quickly got on to ranting about the way people treat this game and the systems that are within it. So, I'm going to go back to level cap and see if I can stay there for a little while before ranting on about something else. Now, there are rumours on the internet. Yes, there are. Oh, really? Yeah, really. And the rumours say that the expansion pack is going to have a level increase in it. An increase in the level cap. I've heard rumours from no increase at all to 100 and every possible integer in between. What is it? What's the increase going to be? Is there going to be an increase? Don't know. Not a clue. You will find out when we broadcast BlizzCon, which of course we are, in video and audio format, live to you, and that's what you've been donating for. But we could use some more donations, so here's a little begging. We need money to get a quality video camera, some quality radio microphones and sound equipment to give you the best possible BlizzCon experience we can. And now, if you want to help out with that, and there is still time to do so, donate to us. WCRadio.com. You shall see a little thermometer with a murloc on it. At least there was a murloc. Yes, there's the murloc. Now, we want to try and increase that total, even just a little bit. So go to there and you click donate. Once you click donate, you donate via PayPal. And that will be much appreciated. You're helping to support the station and keep us on the air, because it's not free to do this. Not at all. We do not get paid. We do not receive any money for this. I'm sitting here talking to you for the sake of it. It's fun. I enjoy it. And I'll continue to do it. However, we cannot broadcast with 3 pieces of string, a paperclip, and a box full of shoes in the same manner as MacGyver would. Unfortunately, we are just not that powerful, so we're going to need some equipment. Help us out, and we shall help you out by giving you the best possible BlizzCon coverage you can imagine! Calm us down. Back to the level cap. Right, now, my personal opinion on this is that it should not be increased. And for the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to try and tell you why. Why should the level cap not be increased? Now, when I got to 60... I was under the impression that I would not have to grind XP anymore. I was correct. I don't have to grind XP. What is that ladybird doing on my monitor? Excuse me while I rid myself of this pesky bug. Off you go. Come on. Oh, for God's sake. I think the pesky things are suicidal. Anyway, back to the topic. I don't want to see that increased. When I came to level 60, I was under the impression that I would not have to watch this silly little bar moving very, very slowly every time I kill one of nature's creatures. Or an undead, or the 1,000th skeleton of whatever I was slaying at the time. Now, quests do help. They really do help to alleviate the grind. There is a purpose to it. However, there are places where it still feels a little bit grindy. Collect 60 murloc eyes. I'm amazed at how many murlocs don't seem to have eyes in this game. The drop rate is crazy. Collect 20 owl feathers. Oh look, bald owls as far as the eye can see. Not a feather in sight. Now, yes, it's a quest, but it's grindy. It doesn't seem to have any particular purpose or relevance to what's going on. Grinding is something we're going to have to accept. However, I was hoping that I would not have to XP grind anymore after I hit level 60. The grinding changes at level 60. At level 60, you grind rep. There are a variety of ways of doing that. The good thing about it is you can do it while doing something else. Now, I'm also almost revered. 500 rep off being revered with the Argent Dawn. I didn't specifically do anything to do that. All I did was I completed the Stratum 5-man quests, and I went into Stratum umpteen times because there was equipment I wanted in there. And it's one of my favourite instances. I also went in there to help my guildies. And when anyone says, do you want to go on a random barrow run, I will usually say yes. Not only because it is profitable, but I like doing it. It's fun. Now, I completed the entire lot, every single one of the Stratum 5-man quests. What did I get? I got the Rune of the Dawn, which is exceptionally useful, and I got the Argent Crusader, which is a great staff, and I enchanted that with my plus 22 intellect, and now it's my instancing staff. If I go up against a boss in Molten Core and I need a massive amount of mana, I have a spare set of kit that I use in order to get that mana. And my other set of kit is for doing trash mobs and for PvPing. Mainly plus damage and stamina based rather than int and spirit. Anyway, that's by the by. I was rewarded for my perseverance with all this stuff. I completed a line of quests which sort of made a reasonable degree of sense. An investigation of what was going on in Stratum by the Argent Dawn. And then, towards the end, we found out, of course, that the whatever his face, the Grand Crusader in the Scarlet side of Stratum, was a demon. We killed him. We slayed him for the good of all. Dramatic music cued. And then we went on to slay Rivendare, who was, of course, the Lord of Stratum. Now that felt a bit meaningful, even though I know for a fact the next time I went in there, Rivendare would be right as rain, ready to use his pesky skeletons on me once again. It felt meaningful. If that was a grind, it was a good grind. It was not an XP grind. It was not a set of quests which really made no sense. Why am I looking for murloc eyes, of all things? Oh, I've got to help some goblin out with his latest cooking recipe. Well, that is very meaningful, very epic. Yes, I did say... Epic! An epic quest. Now, that is the kind of grinding I like. And again, back to what I was saying. Back to the past of RPGs. You would go into a dungeon, you would slay the dragon, you would get the loot, save the girl, all that kind of thing. And that was the staple of RPGs. And that is why dungeons and instances are still good to go in. The most fun I have in World of Warcraft at the moment is in Molten Core, of all places. An instance which many people say is bland and dull. Why do I enjoy it? Because I enjoy the feeling that at any point, if our discipline and our teamwork breaks down, we are going to perish horribly in the flames of death. That is a good feeling. That makes me feel needed and wanted, and everyone else in the raid has to play up to the expectations of their peers. They have to be the best they can be in that instance, or else they will get their asses kicked. And especially considering we are a casual guild. We don't have fully epicked up people. We're only halfway through Molten Core. Geddon went down last week. But it's a challenge. Not only that, but the camaraderie is amazing. You don't get that kind of camaraderie anywhere else. When a new boss goes down, there is a sense of achievement. You just don't get that anywhere else. When you take a new boss down, or when you take down a boss that you know is difficult. Every time we take down the Bloodlord, for instance, in Zul'Gurub, who is tricky. It takes a lot of patience. Mistakes cannot be made, or the Bloodlord will kick your ass. So, whenever we take him down, there's always a sense of achievement. Difficulty and challenge make for camaraderie. Camaraderie should be the essence of an MMORPG. After all, what would be the point of an MMORPG if it wasn't massive and multiplayer? If all these people weren't playing the game alongside you? What would be the point? The simple answer is there wouldn't. There wouldn't be one. No point. Absolutely none at all. Now what keeps me playing this game is my guild. And what keeps me playing this game are the challenges that we take on. What did not keep me playing this game was the idea of grinding XP. I almost quit before 60. Almost. I was tempted. I was very tempted. For one point, I did not advance a level for about a month. I left my character at level 51 because I couldn't be bothered. I could not be bothered anymore because I just got sick of it. I got sick of having to watch my bar and thinking, don't worry, I've only got to kill another 1,000 hyenas to the next level. Now you may say, yes, quest. Well, I did the quests. And there are times when grinding is simply more efficient. Now, that really, really got on my nerves. And that is the thing that has kept me away from MMORPGs all the way up to this point. While I've played several, I never stayed there for very long. The reason? Well, the reason was I didn't like to grind XP. It didn't feel skillful, and it isn't, let's face it. If you know how to play your class, there is very little skill involved. I know what those mobs are going to do, and I know how to kill them, and I can kill them the same way every single time should I wish to. Oh, for God's sake, why do people insist on ringing me in the middle of my show? 1 second, I'm just going to turn that phone off. Oh, dear. Never mind. Back to what I was saying in the first place, which I've forgotten in the evil rings of my mobile. Now, what I was going to say... Bollocks! Completely and totally forgotten. Anyway. The point of the matter is that to increase the level cap as a means of keeping people playing the game is a flawed piece of logic. Why? Because people don't necessarily like to grind experience. And if they don't like to do it, then they may in fact quit. That is one facet of it. There are more. A second facet of this idea is that it renders some people's progress in their minds a little bit irrelevant. It's the same argument as saying, well, why buy or grind for epic items and good equipment before level 60? Because you don't really need it. Because when you hit level 60, there's going to be a whole new world for you right there. So, if I had to grind again to level 70, is all my equipment now irrelevant? When I go into a battleground or whatever, or when I meet someone in PvP, am I going to meet someone who is so infinitely more powerful than I am that no matter what my equipment is, I don't stand a chance in hell until I get to the same level as he is? Right now, we are in a state of limbo as such, in level 60 player versus player. While I will find it difficult to beat another class who may be epicked up to the max, it is not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. No, it isn't. And that is a good thing. It really is, folks. That is probably what's keeping me playing. Because I know that this person may have Sulfara's Hand of Ragnaros. He may have the Blessed Blade of the Windseeker. He may be fully epicked up. He may have a full set of Wrath gear. But I can still beat him. It might be difficult to do. It might only happen once every 10 times. Or maybe even once every 100 times. But I can still beat him. If I keep trying. What chance will I have against a level 70? I won't. It's a big divide. What you're going to find is that if they bring out level 70 content, some people will power their way to it. And they will be able to power their way to it because they are fully epicked up. Molten Core, Blackwing Lair Gear, bam, straight through, level 70. Great, now they're on 2, 3, 4 tiers higher than we are. What are we supposed to do? Well, we can't. There's nothing we can do. These people are now so far in advance of us that catching them up is a near impossibility. These are the sort of people who will be sitting there day in, day out, and they will get to level 70 as fast as humanly possible, as, going back to what I was saying, farming, grinding. And they have equipment on their side. Their ally is their gear. This is gear that the rest of us don't have. And if you wanted to create such a massive divide in a player base of World of Warcraft, that would be the way to do it. You're listening to Blue Please here on WoW Radio. Now, we have a resident murloc on this show. And he does an Agony Ant section, and it's called
Ask the Murloc.
He's not a very pleasant character. In fact, he's really quite bitter. But I'm going to inflict him on you anyway. This is Blue Please, this is Ask the Murloc. Enjoy.
Ask the Murloc.
Dear Murloc, I have started to learn engineering and mining, and I accidentally created several thousand rounds of crafted light shot. This is taking up all the room in my inventory. Nobody seems to want to buy it from me. Is there anything else I can do with it other than just throw it away?
complete terror, puny mortals, but it is I, the murloc. Ha-ha! Come to take up residence in your former homes and drink whatever spirits you may have to hand here. The wonders of engineering. Why, just yesterday I crafted myself a cunning device which allows me to liquidize guests in an instant. Always a hoot at parties, yes. Insignificant problem, yes. Well, my foolish little friend, you have several thousand small rocks. What would you do with them, really? Well, the answer is simple. You would stand in a busy street and throw them at passers-by. See how many you can get rid of before you're arrested and hauled off to the nearest internment camp. The murloc wages 10 English pounds that you won't pass 100. Ha ha!
Ask the murloc.
Dear murloc, I would be greatly obliged if you could provide me with a concise definition of a ninja looter. This appears to be a highly emotive subject, and I am very wary of causing offense by making mistakes or breaching the etiquette of the game so early in my career. Can you help me?
Ah, yes, the present threat of the ninja looter. Oh, yes. The ninja looter is a stealthy creature. He appears in disguise, away from your prying eyes. You will come to despise his treacherous lies. You should say your goodbyes to your stack of meat pies, for the ninja looter will loot them and laugh at your cries. The murloc should really write that down. It's spiffingly good. Ha ha!
Ask the murloc.
Dear murloc, I don't understand the appeal of ganking. Why would anyone want to do something like that? Maybe you can shed some light on this behavior.
Well, my dear, the murloc shall grace you with some more prose. The murloc had a guest at home, but now he is no more. For what he thought was H2O was H2SO4. Ha! The old ones are always fantastic. But seriously, here we go. To gank, or not to gank? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous newbies, or to take arms against a sea of morons, and by opposing end them, to die, to corpse cap, no more, and by a sleep to say we end, their heartache and the thousand earth shocks, that flesh is heir to, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished, to die, to gank, to corpse cap. Now get out of my house, you blithering imbeciles! Ha!
Ask the murloc.